Almost all human behavior can be explained by incentives. The study of signaling and signals is seeing what people do despite what they say. People are much more honest with their actions than they are with their words. You have to get the incentives right to get people to behave correctly. It's a very, very difficult problem because the good people aren't purely coin operated. They're not just looking for money, they're also looking for other things like status or meaning in what they do. Principal agent problem is the one that, as a business owner, you're always going to be trying to figure out, how do I make this person think like me? How do I incent them? How do I give them founder mentality? And I think you have to truly have been a founder to fully appreciate how important this founder mentality thing is and what a difficult and gnarly problem the principal agent problem is. What I would say to you is, if you are a principal, you essentially want to spend a lot of your time thinking about this problem. What that means is you want to take your top lieutenants and you want to be very generous with them in terms of ownership and incentives, even if they don't necessarily realize it, because over time they will, and you want them to be aligned with you in how they operate. When you do business deals, it's better to have an aligned partnership where you both have the same incentives than a partnership where you got the advantage in the deal. You negotiated in such a way that you've got the better end of the transaction, because eventually the other person will figure it out, or they'll be misaligned and the partnership will fall apart. Either way, it's not going to be one of those things that you can invest into with the benefits of compound interest over decades. Finally, if you're in a current role where you're an agent, you're an employee, your most important job is to think like a principal. The more you can think like a principal, the better off you're going to be long term, because it's training you how to be a principal long term, and eventually you will become a principal. It's also going to align you with the principal, and a good principal will then promote you or empower you or give you accountability or leverage way out of proportion to what might be your menial role. I'm always very impressed by founders who will promote up very, very young people through the ranks, having them skip multiple levels despite their experience. And invariably, it happens because this agent who's way deep down thinks like a principal. So if you can hack your way through the principal agent problem, you've probably solved half of what it takes to run a company.
The reason I asked about this one first is because I feel like I personally never see the principal agent problem in my work,